Now, probate fees are rising today, set to hit thousands of bereaved families across the country. The cost to unlock a loved one's estate will rise from £155 to £273, an increase of 27%. Well, the Ministry of Justice claims that the current system operates at a loss and places an unfair burden on the taxpayer. Well, Richard Denton, a probate solicitor of over 20 years from a North London law firm, joined me to talk through the issue and what it could mean for families here in the capital.
I think it's fair to say that this rise has been some time in the coming. There were two previous attempts to increase the probate fees, and the reason that was put forward for the increase is simply that the cost was in excess of what was being raised out of the previous fee. So to date, there have been two separate fees. One where you use a professional, £155, and where you took out an application for probate as an individual, you were paying £215. The new universal fee is now £273. And in some respects, I'm actually quite relieved about the level of the change that comes in today. Previously, on both occasions, we were looking at significant increases in terms of financial cost to most individuals other than those dealing with the very smallest of estates. And it could have been the case for some individuals where the estate was in excess of £6 million, which I appreciate is relatively low numbers of estates, but they were talking about fees of £20,000. So in the grand scheme of it, I think the fee increases that we're seeing today, which admittedly at 27% is a good percentage increase, is a high percentage increase, I don't think in the grand scheme of it it's going to make much of a difference to individuals who are having to deal with this process.
So you're saying that you don't think it's going to hit families on low income the hardest in the capital? Is that what you're saying? Is that not what...
Well, I think that the point is that you've got to remember that the fees are going to be paid out of the estates that are being dealt with. And these individuals, if they were dealing with the estates themselves previously, they were paying £215 for that. So the increase, as I say, as a percentage is quite high, but they're going to be able to pay these out of the monies that they are inheriting where they're inheriting. So it's going to be the beneficiaries that will suffer slightly, but I don't think compared to what it could have been, it's such a bad increase.
Talk to us about the difference between personal and professional applications. You touched on it there, and what the difference was and how that might change now.
So I think the system is set up and it's intended that people should be able to deal with the administration of the estate themselves, like any of the self-assessment systems that the revenue operate. However, and it very much depends, however, my view is that to obtain advice, particularly where matters are slightly more complicated, where you don't really have the expertise to know what you're doing, can be worth its weight in gold. I think sometimes there's a little bit of an obsession with saving fees, but then you miss the bigger picture.
The Ministry of Justice claims that the current system operates at a loss and is unfair on the taxpayer. Can you understand why they think that?
Yeah, and I think that really is the reason why that the increase has come in, because I think that they reckon that this was a loss-making area. As I said earlier, people are genuinely in these cases inheriting monies when it's not coming out of their own pocket, and therefore I think they feel the system should be funded by the fees that are charged for dealing with the probate.